Hi, and welcome to my first Nota commentary. This may be one of many, I'm not too sure. Like I said, it's the first one. There might be some umming and ahhing, so please forgive, or just troll away, whatever you like. I'm not sure what format I should really be doing these in. This one's just going to be completely unedited, the entire battle, boring parts and all. Sort of not sure which way to take that, you know, because sometimes when I'm watching a replay and a commentary, it's a bit annoying sometimes when they're just showing the more interesting bits, although that's good, you know, when they cut between bits, you know, you're like, oh shit, what just happened, you know, if you're trying to look at the mini-map and trying to see how the teams have moved, and yeah, like I said, that can be annoying sometimes, so I'm not sure. Tell me in the comments, or don't, or just troll away, like I said, but yeah, just tell me whether you'd like them to be shortened in the boring bits, or just you prefer the whole thing. Oh, and by the way, link in description to the Nota website, so you can just download and start playing. Once again, it is free to play, so go ahead, give it a try. Okay, so welcome to my first Nota commentary. Featuring myself, Draven, Pow and Dan'l Killer, going up against Wocky, Gotti, and Svenda. I don't know. Svenda. People are going to call me an idiot. I do not know how to say his name. Svenda. I don't know. Gotti is an absolute god, probably the best RTS player in any RTS game he freaking plays, at least any spring-based one.
My body is a weapon. Use it.
But anyway, Nota is a free RTS for anyone who doesn't know. It's free to play RTS mod on the Spring engine, and anyone familiar with the old game TA made in 1997 is going to notice a lot of similarities between this game and TA. It's like has obviously been derived from it, but the Nota, standing for not original total annihilation, hint is in the title there that there are quite a lot of differences too.
I'm having an old friend for dinner.
And of course people hitting the sort of random taunt generator button there and saying random things that I actually find quite annoying, but whatever. Yeah, I think this is actually my first game that I played since I've been playing Nota again after a break for probably almost a year, and we end up winning, mainly because I think Wocky is a new player to the game, and so luckily I, by random chance, happened to lane up against an easy opponent, and plus my quality of my allies here was just great, and so I think we do end up winning. But anyway, so like I said, for anyone that is familiar with the old TA, they're going to notice a lot of similarities. I can hit F4 here and highlight all the metal extractor points. This is how you get your resource metal, the other resource being energy. It's only two resources in the game. And then of course you get energy via building either solar panels or windmills, at least in tier 1.
Why are you so good to me?
Well, actually no, in Nota you can build nuclear power plants in tier 1 as well, although these are less powerful than fusion plants in other mods, but we have an advanced fusion plant in Nota as well. But I'm getting a bit advanced here for anyone who is new to the game, and anyone that isn't, well, they just know that, so let's not worry about that. So as opposed to any other TA game where you have a commander that walks around and builds things, in Nota you have a command tower which is immobile but has quite a large build range. So I'm going to just change it here. So I'm spectating from my point of view, so when I click on myself it doesn't have an attack button, although it still does, so that's weird. Never mind, oh there we go, that's better. So yeah, it can't move, but it has a lot larger build radius. If I just click something here, you can see this green line is its build radius, so I can build anything inside that. So obviously when starting you want that green thing to encompass as many of these metal spots as you can. So your starter builder can
There's something screwy around
get as
here.
many resources as they can before you have to expand. And there's 4 labs in TA and indeed in Nota, or 4 basic types of labs, being K-bots, tanks, airplanes, and ships, which obviously we're not going to see on this map, being that there is no water. So yes, your basic command unit can build a tier 1 K-bot lab, tank lab, and air lab, and the ship lab, which has the air, K-bot, and tank all have a tier 2 lab for the more powerful tanks, K-bots, and planes, whereas ships, everything is built from the tier 1 lab, from destroyers right up to battleships. As you can see here, I've got my tier 1 K-bot lab out, and I've gone and built the second weakest K-bot in the ARM factory, the lightest being fleas, but fleas are really just a scout unit, and they have no health, no damage, they're just very fast, and they'll die in basically one shot of almost anything. But anyhow, I've built the second lightest here, Pee-wees, being a unit that has really good firepower, and even actually health for damage. Even though they're a very weak unit, they actually have a lot of health per cost, which is quite good. So yeah, and I've managed to rush them forward way over the halfway line here and taken a hill in front of my opponent Wocky. I can hear some shooting going on somewhere. Where is it? Someone's raiding someone, and I didn't even pick it up. Like I said, I haven't actually watched this replay yet, so I don't know. Anyway, I've walled off this area of my base here with some solars. I'm building some windmills at the back here. All my allies doing similar things. POW has gone for K-bots, as has Daniel Killer, and as I said, Gotti, the fluoro green player playing at North on the opponent's side, one of the best players there is, this early on in the game has already got Daniel Killer in some trouble. He has got a few tanks up here and he's putting some hurt on him, although Daniel's almost built this anti-riot tower, and he's going to actually lose his lab, but Gotti probably won't be able to push any further with that tower there. He probably could have just gone up and bypassed it and tried to hit some economy. But anyway, POW coming out here to help, getting his K-bots on top of the hills. I've been forced off this hill that I was originally starting on. Frickin' Svendar coming down to help out Wocky, and they're both pushing me off that hill. Didn't really lose too many of my units, just saw that I wasn't going to be able to win the fight and better run the units away, save them to fight another day. Now I've got some hammers coming in, which are just the bread and butter sort of tier 1 unit. They've got really good range, good damage per cost. You know, they've got that indirect fire, so they can fire over low-lying obstacles, no trouble. A really cool thing about Nota, and just TA in general, especially for its time, when you consider it's 1997, even the original game back then, all shots fired, actually the shot has to hit the opponent. What I mean by that is, in a game like StarCraft, or nearly any other RTS for that matter, when Unit A shoots at Unit B, Unit A automatically just hits Unit B. There might be an animation for a projectile shooting, but you know, that projectile may very well miss visually, but the unit still takes damage. Whereas in Nota, and any TA mod, when Unit A shoots at Unit B, it fires its shot, and then if Unit, you know, the shot could miss. All different types of units have a different levels of accuracy, and the projectile speeds are obviously different, so the other units won't be able to get out of the way before the projectile hits. And you know, then when the projectile hits, that's when the damage is actually done. So the cool thing about that is we have a lot more of a, as someone else has put it, a natural balance in the game, where actual real attributes affect how the unit performs. Like you don't have like a rock paper scissors system like in other RTSs where this unit's just really good against this unit because they've just put damage bonuses in that make that unit good against it. No, in this units are good because of their actual attributes. So like a fast moving unit, you know, might have not much armor, might be light and fast moving, but because of its speed, it may in actuality have quite a lot of effective armor because it's actually gonna, you know, get missed a lot by enemy units. So you might have a small fast unit that's actually good against some particular heavy types of units, because the heavier units, maybe their turrets don't traverse very fast, and they're going to have a hard time tracking that unit, and even when they do, they might have a hard time hitting that unit. So yeah, that introduces a lot of sort of tactical elements to the game. You know, whereby in a lot of other RTSs, you might, you know, the outcome of a battle may well be predetermined before the battle even starts. It's just like, oh, well, this guy has these units and that guy has those units, so, you know, these units are going to win every time over those units. Whereas in Nota, like I say, yeah, unit placement, your unit micromanagement in the game really is what determines the outcome, and a smaller army with less firepower definitely can defeat a larger army, obviously to a point, if it is just played a lot smarter. You know, flanking maneuvers really work very well when executed right. And yeah, like I said, just general unit placement and micromanagement. As you can see, the game is pretty even at this point. Goddy's initial rush that gave Daniel a bit of trouble has eased. Power is helping him out, as I am doing quite well here at the bottom, and his Power, our middle player, is free to have come up and help Daniel kill her out and push Goddy back. Goddy's going for tanks, whereas most other players are going for K-bots. And one of the big differences between K-bots and tanks is most other TA mods and TA itself, the only real difference is K-bots are a bit better at climbing hills and tanks are a little bit faster. The differences in Nota are quite a lot more than that. K-bots are weaker than tanks in a one-on-one sense, but they are far cheaper as well, so K-bots actually get a far better firepower to cost ratio. You get a lot more firepower for the same cost out of chaos. And as you can see there, look at that, missiles firing and missing. So like I said, it's not, the damage is not predetermined in this game. Your shot actually has to hit. So that, like I said, has many ramifications. Like, this guy might shoot at a particular unit and miss, but then that shot may go on and hit another unit. So if your units are more clumped up, as in you've just had poor control, you know, are going to take a lot more damage, because if your units are clumped, well, like I said, the enemy might attack your units, and you know, one of the enemy units might shoot at one of yours, and he might miss it, but because your units are all clumped up, well, he's just going to hit another one anyway, and successfully put some hurt on you. So, in that sense, outflanking the opponent, you know, spreading your units out around them, having a larger front, attacking them from multiple sides, is going to give you an advantage. It's going to spread their firepower out, and you're going to suffer less AoE damage. You're going to take far less hits. So right now, Power making a really effective push in the middle. Wocky is converting some units to try to stem this push down here. While I've noticed him do that, and I'm trying to push up and retake that hill that I initially got. Doesn't look like I'm going to be successful at this point. Really doesn't have anything here, but he's got a couple of LLTs, really put some hurt on. I've destroyed one. And I'm pushing up the hill here. I've only got a few units left. They're going to die. Nothing's going to really happen there. We've got some snipers here, which is sort of a cool unit. I'm really not sure if they're quite balanced, quite good in the current state. I think they may be a little underpowered, but they definitely can work well in some situations like they are here. While not moving, they remain stealthed, as you can see, and yeah, the enemy units are unable to fire back at them effectively. Another thing that's important in this game is radar, as all your units, well, not all, but almost all units in the game have greater range than their line of sight. So when you have a radar, you can't see it, as I can just see the entire map now, but units out of your line of sight, enemy units out of your line of sight, if they're in your radar sight, they will still appear on the main map, but just as dots, and your units will still be able to fire at those radar signatures, even though they're not in line of sight. The cool thing there is that when you're firing units being targeted by the radar, you fire less accurately, so you know, having a scout out the front, so your units can actually physically see the units, you know, scout out the front spotting for them. Yeah, that can lead your firepower to be a lot more accurate and lay a lot more hurt on them. Here God is pushing down into the middle with some heavy tanks and some levelers. Levelers are a great counter to K-bots. They have outranged most K-bots, and they just have a really nasty damage and nasty AoE. And being that K-bots are smaller and can climb up easier, like they are right here, you know, get some levelers in range of that, and they're just going to really hurt them. Leveler stones get in range here, and bang, they are just snapping these K-bots. Like I said, Leveler's quite reasonably slow and not a lot of HP, but Gotti is screening with heavy tanks there. Like I said, K-bots have the better firepower for the cost, but they are, and they're better at climbing hills than tanks, but they are quite slow and don't have very much HP and can be susceptible to AoE damage if they're too clumped. So in that sense, they're not very good at attacking defended positions that are defended particularly obviously with long-range units, where the K-bots are going to take a lot of damage due to their slow nature whilst they're trying to close in range of those defences. So tanks are a lot better at assaulting defences, and as they have a lot more HP and are a lot faster, because you've got more HP packed into less units. So yeah, you're less susceptible to AoEs, you get the same lump of HP in less units. Yeah, charge those defences down quicker, and then have your K-bots come in behind, you know, having that high firepower. Now, like I said, your commander can't move your command tower, and you can only build his build rate. So in order to expand, you know, you can build engineers from your labs like you can in TA, but these engineers can't really build much. They can only build resources. I'm trying to find one of my engineers now. Can't seem to find one. So yeah, I have no idea. I must have lost my engineer that built that. Wacky countering my snipers with his own there. But yeah, your builders can only build just your basic resources and a couple of very basic defences and a couple of towers. Another cool thing about this, just going back to the radar, sorry this is a bit scattered, like I said, very important so you can see, maybe your longer range units be able to shoot without needing that line of sight, but radar itself has line of sight, i.e. it can't see through mountains. So if you build a radar here, behind this hill, this being my side, this radar is not going to be able to see anything here. So building your radar on the high ground, you know, it's a problem I see noobs do a lot, you know, because in other mods and in the original TA you have this problem. You could just, you know, build a radar behind this hill where it's nice and safe, and you know, you can see through and provide radar. In this it can't, it's only going to be able to see up here, blah blah blah. So yeah, noobs, build your radars on top of hills and in places where they're actually going to be able to see your enemy. So we've got a bit of non-stop action going here. Gotti got a lot of artillery here, as you can see. They've got great range. They're just sitting on top of this hill, really raining some herd down. Artillery is extremely inaccurate, but so they're not really effective in small numbers. But once you start to get a decent number like Gotti has here, the inaccuracy counts for less because, you know, you've got a lot of them, so one of them's going to hit. Plus, when you're shooting against enemy army that is obviously larger in size, like I said, units don't, A doesn't automatically hit unit B in this, so like I said, the artillery might be shooting at this K-bot here and they might miss, but because there's other K-bots around them, well, he might hit those. So again, the more clumped up your units are, the more liable you could be to take some damage. While this is all happening up here, is this Gotti or Wacky? This is Wacky, dark green, so Wacky's managed to move a lot of units up to the top here, and sort of having a bit of a pushback in the middle. The game really quite even at this point. We've probably got a little bit more than half map control. Sensing Wacky's control on this portion of the hill is weak, I've decided to push up as I've built my Guardian up here. And so back to how you actually expand your influence more than just building resources across the map. Your basic engineers can build an expansion tower, which can build, as you can see, pretty much most of the stuff your base main comm tower can build. It's just a slightly smaller version of that, has less range, but it can build a few more advanced defences than your comm tower. I've got this long range plasma battery here, which on top of this hill can really command if I press attack here, you can see the red circle. It's huge range. You command a lot of area in this middle bit here, and you know, where I built it, you know, I built it to dislodge Wacky off this hill. It can be very hard to take hills. Notice, you know, hills are very important, as the movement speed of units is really reduced trying to walk up hills, and the unit range of units on top of hills, you know, is increased proportionally to the height that they're shooting off. So, you know, when your enemy has a hill and you're trying to retake it, he's got greater range than you, and you're slowly trying to trudge up this hill while he's just outranging you and really hurting you. So, really air or long-range units is the only way to dislodge people off a hill in this game a lot of the time. Anyway, Gotti doing really well here, as well as I'm doing in the bottom against Wacky. Gotti doing equally well at the top here, pushing Daniel Killer back once again. Just, like I said, starting to mash a lot of artillery, and, you know, Daniel's just in a situation where he can't really do much. I mean, if he tries to push forward with these K-bots, as he is now, I mean, it's just not going to be successful. He doesn't have enough of them set. As you get into closer range with the artillery, you'll switch from this high trajectory shot to a low trajectory shot, which is a lot more direct, a fair bit more accurate, and yeah, his K-bots just aren't going to be able to close the distance before he just loses too many of them. Artillery are quite fragile and can't shoot while it's moving, but yeah, Gotti's got a couple of heavy tanks in there that, as we saw before, have a lot of HP, and they're just going to soak up a lot of fire and protect his artillery here. So Gotti just methodically pushing forward here. Now he's bringing in a couple of levelers from the bottom too. Wisely, he's got some mobile radar with him, just so this radar here, like I said, he'll be able to see here and down here. He probably can't see behind this hill here because it's going to hit this slope of this hill and not be able to see behind it. So these radars here will have a line of sight up there. Gotti just ominously moving these forward as he is also attacking with air units. So Daniel really copying and beating here. Let's go back to that in just a moment. I've secured this hill here with a lot of hammers, and as you can see with my height advantage here, yeah, Wacker's attacking me with some zippers, which are very fast moving, but quite weak and low damage units. And yeah, he's just going to run his remaining ones out of there. There's nothing he can do. He's certainly not going to get me off the hill with that. Yeah, Power got a few tanks screening this entrance in below here, so nothing's going to come in and back rate me and come up and around and try to take out my Guardian. Another cool thing about this game is the planes. Wow. Oh, so this is actually Xander coming in and supporting Gotti there. But he was mashing heaps of stuff. Now, north and middle is starting to look in a bit of a way here. So I've lost more than half of the middle. Gotti's starting to push across the top. I believe I do something, yeah, from memory. Yeah, I've got another cable here, just building really those light peewees that I built at the start there. Just a great fodder unit when stuff's going wrong. You can pump them out quickly. Like I said, they're not the strongest, but they're quite strong for cost in pretty much every aspect. So yeah, I'm just spamming them. I'm going to start massing them up here behind Daniel and hopefully save him in time. Meanwhile, I do not know. I've sent a couple of peewees up that way for some reason to their death. Not the smartest move. Anyway, the battle continues here at the top. Once again, Daniel trying to push forward, but I just don't think he's going to be successful with this. I mean, I don't see how he can be. I mean, we've got a 3-layer cake of destruction here with the heavy tanks here at the front. They don't have very good firepower for cost, but oil lag, but they have a great armour for cost. They're just shielding the front here. And then we have the levelers, which is just like a direct fire version of the artillery. They're much more accurate but have less range, but they're just mashing units. The artillery is just mashing units. I mean, he's just being mashed. Those units are just being thrown away, but like I said, there's nothing much you could really do there. It's just, yeah, oh wow, here we go. This is cool. So Power has come out here with the Panther like the medium tanks. The cool thing about these are they're radar stealthy, so they do not show up on the enemy's radar. So God, he probably didn't even realise these were coming until it was too late. Another great thing about Panthers, as we just saw there, they're equipped with AA missiles as well as their lightning cannons. So God, he just lost a lot of his vassals there. Daniel is not going to bother with that attack, and now he's moving down this way. If he goes up here, he's going to really be able to raid Goddy's economy here. I don't know particularly why he's going straight down. Wow, Blocky has actually just pushed me off this hill. I don't know when that happened, but yeah, I'm sort of scrimming around here with my bread and butter thuds. Just falling back, not letting him get in amongst my lines. Again, like I said, that management of your units really is going to help determine the outcome of the battle. I mean, I was always going to win that. I just had a much bigger, stronger army than him, but I don't want his fast units to get up in my lines where I'm going to start spraying shots in all directions because he's inside me. By backing away, keeping all my units on the left, he's on the right, I keep all my firepower coming out in one direction and just making it a lot stronger. And back on top of this hill I go. By this time, as you can see here, I'm starting to mass a couple of Kiwis behind Daniel here, so obviously that's going to probably come into play at some point. Power bringing these Panthers back, which like I said are radar stealthy, so Gotti, unless he's got units close enough, won't even know these are here as he's bringing his heavy tanks down. Oh wow, what he's just done there is hit these tanks with an EMP bot. It's like a stealthy EMP bot, a stealthy kamikaze bot. It comes in, it's quite expensive on the energy, but yeah, it's stealthy and can scout for you. And well, it's cloaked as invisible, and then if you self-destruct it, EMPs whatever's in its blast radius, which is quite small, but I mean his tanks were very clumped there, and yeah, they all got EMP'd and disabled, and his tanks came in and killed him. As well as Power attacking his artillery with planes, and like I said, artillery's got quite low health, so planes are going to really be effective against them. Another cool thing about this mod is, yeah, planes have ammo, so they come in, they drop their payload, and then they have to go back and rearm. So yeah, that's cool. You know, you need to build logistics for your planes to really truly be effective. You know, build a lot of air pads for them. Your basic air lab comes with one repair pad per air lab, so it's got two, so you can refill in 2 planes at a time. If there's any more, they have to wait, which there are planes waiting to refuel at the moment. So yeah, but you can just build air pads on their own. Now I don't really know what I'm doing here. I'm being a bit of a noob, but like I said, it's my first game back. I'm sort of, my brain's sort of working overtime, just trying to remember how to play this game. I could just go straight forward at this point and easily win, but like I said, it's my first game back. I'm not really thinking that much. I've upgraded my expansion tower to a tier 2 expansion tower, which is how you get to tier 2 in this game, unlike a lot of other mods. In other mods, your engineer from a factory goes to tier 2 of that same type of factory, so tier 2 bot engineer will get you to tier 2 bots. In this it's a little different. Like I said, your engineer can only build very basic structures. Here we go, so all those peewees I got, I've just got them in, I've just gone, yeah, just let's send them all forward. They are just a meat shield after all. Probably should have communicated that to my team a bit better so he could have pushed in at the same time and helped. But that's fine. I think he does in a second anyway. But yeah, how you get to tier 2 in this is, you can either get your comm to straight away build tier 2 K-bot, tank or air tower, which is like your comm tower, and can build a whole bunch of things, plus the K-bot can build tier 2 K-bot, the tank one can build tier 2 K-bot, etc, etc. The defense ones can't build tier 2 labs, but can build some better defenses, and the advanced one can build everything of all of these, plus a few more, even more cool units. But the way I expand it is, your engineer, like I said, can build some very basic units, plus a basic expansion tower, which doesn't get you to tier 2, but just gets you some stronger defenses like this Guardian and Defenders I built here. But your normal expansion tower can then be upgraded to tier 2 tower of your choice, which I chose K-bots, and I'm pumping out some tier 2 K-bots right now. My little push there, like I said, Vandal Killer's obviously come in to help at some point, and I've still got a couple of units alive. This guy's managed to rank up to tier 3, but oops, he's dead. yeah, Gotti is in trouble now. This is not looking good for him in the game. It's probably coming to a close. Power making a great raid here with these Panther tanks. They're really great for raiding. Like I said, they're radar stealthy, so the opponent's not going to see them coming until they're actually in line of sight and start shooting things. So, you know, great for raiding. Sneak through the back door, as it were. Here I am sitting in my second wave of Kiwis that I've still got going over here and building up. Issue up multiple commands in this. As you can see, I've said, yep, you all go. Like just my Peewees, you know, you guys all go there, then here, then come down here, so I'm just trying to skirt around the top, and then sweep down the back and take out some of his economy there, take out some of his mexes. At this point, it is almost a foregone conclusion. It's going to speed up the speed of the game a bit here, because, you know, we've just got too much control of the map, both north and south. We have way over half, in the middle we've got over half too, so we're, yeah, here's those units I sent around. I don't know how many people make it. I've changed my tune now. I'm going, you know what, bugger it. I'm just going to go straight down. I'm taking a bit of fire from his comm tower here. I'm going to lose most of them by the time I get past it, but I'm sweeping through all these AA units here, which obviously can't fight me back. They're AA units, and it's just in a bit of trouble. Taking out stuff. Here we go. I'll just slide down a bit so we can witness the destruction of this push at the bottom. Technically I should be screwing with him a bit more, holding back, really using my range. I'm just pushing up, but it's a foregone conclusion. My army's that much bigger than his. It doesn't matter. I'm backed up by tier 2 Mavericks, which are just beasts. It's making a last-ditch effort to defend here, but I mean that is not even close to enough, especially these Mavericks once they open fire. I mean, you're dead. And your bomb's dead. Got him repeatedly spamming turret here to try to, you know, force this artillery to stop shooting at his comm and kill the thing instead. Which is quite novel. I'm trying to hold off every second he can. Good old Gotti, always a game at the end, no self-deem here. So guys, tell me, how's that feeling to kill God out of his game? I'm sure it's the game there. As we can see, our team is feeling satisfaction. I just destroyed my opponent's comm tower. That's one down. Once all the team's comm towers are lost, it's over. There goes Gotti's. Xander holding on here in the middle. Like I said, it's a foregone conclusion now. He self-Ds.